Hello, fellow comic book worms. This is Naman. Welcome to my channel. We have a special guest today. I'm going to let my Korean bro Taku Hyang going to introduce the special guest. So please take it over, Taku Hyang.
Yeah, we have a very engaged community member. This is Marcus from Comic Circumstances,
Right.
and yeah, he puts out such great, entertaining content. And I'm sure if you haven't engaged with it, we'll give you an opportunity to really learn more about this community member. So, Marcus, yeah, why don't you just give a brief introduction on who you are and what you do?
Well, what up? What up, Southpaw Brad? That's my homie. We hung out a ton at Heroes Con this past June,
Oh,
and
man, I'm sorry. I forgot my sponsor. What are you drinking tonight?
uh, I might have to go get something started here. I might have to get coffee instead of liquor though to stay up. I did take a nap to make sure I was ready because I wake up every morning at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. So this is late as
Whoa.
hell for me. I'm super
Oh
late, but
man, sorry about that.
I'm pumped to be here. I'm excited to do this. So what up, Southpaw Brad? What up, Chop? Good to see you, fellas. My name and Mad Spidey. What up, homie? Good to see you.
Matt
Thanks for
Spidey's
coming
here.
through
Hey,
last.
Matt Spidey.
Yeah, thanks for coming through last night, brother. It was good to see you in there. My name is Marcus. Is my real name. Circumstances is my online name. It's been my online name for over 20 years now. It began when I started playing this game called EverQuest. I'm a gamer, and
EverQuest?
EverQuest was an MMO, a massive multiplayer online game.
No, no,
Really,
no. What
the
game is
first really big one, and that game just blew my mind. I'm very much a gamer. I'm very much an online gamer, and EverQuest was like my first online gaming high that I've been chasing ever since. That game was amazing. It changed my life in terms of the relationships that I've built and just all kinds of ways. That game was awesome. But in that game, you got to choose your names, and so I made Surcam, which is an anagram with my real name, Marcus.
Oh,
I
okay,
was
okay.
gonna do Suckram, which is my name backwards, but Suckram is not a fun name, so I changed it to Circum, changed the R and C around to Circum. And then in that game, when you hit level 20, you get to choose a last
Hey,
name.
Damien.
So, what up, Damien? Good to see you. I believe the weekly goat sacrifices tonight after the show, so definitely look for Sleepy Reader 666. But yeah, when you hit level 20, you get to pick a last name. And for a long time, I was going to be sized, so it was very close to my name being circumcised instead of circumstances. What up, Lass? Good to see you, Lass.
Just in time
But
to hear that. I'm sorry to hear
I decided not. I decided to be a little more grown up about it, so I changed it from circumcised to circumstances instead. And so my name was born 20 something years ago on EverQuest, and here I am now. It's always been my gaming name, so I am known in role playing games and some various games as Circum. But comic book circumstances is kind of taken over these days. I've really engrossed myself in this community. I spend a lot of my time each day, sucking in content from the homies in the comic book community, and it's just been a different experience. I collected in the 90s is when I first started collecting during the right. It was right before Image happened, and then I was collecting as Image happened. So that was my heyday, and I loved collecting so much, even though it was very much a
making
solo
it.
thing. I didn't have friends. I had zero friends that collected comic books. None. In fact, my friends all made fun of me for collecting comic books. They didn't get it, but I'm the type of person, even back then, I don't, you can think what you think. I don't care. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. And so I collected comic books anyway, even with the haters. But what really made me quit collecting was just I was a broke kid. My family didn't have money, so it was really hard for me to keep up with the game. And I didn't really buy new comic books. I bought quarter books and the books, used bookstore. It's books that people had thrown away is what I got. That's why my favorite thing is West Coast Avengers. And you see me share one a day on Instagram because I've accumulated the whole run since I've gotten older. But I had a bunch of the run already because that's what people threw away in the quarter bins. And so I snatched them all up. And that was what I was really able to get a run of and really engross myself in as a kid. So I know I bring up Avengers West Coast and people are like, that sucked. I'm like, well, it didn't suck to me because it was all I could get. most of my comic book collecting was like a piece here, a piece there, right?
How
You
many
get an
big
issue
books
here,
are in the
issue
West
there.
Coast Avengers?
102 issues. Yeah, 102.
How many big books?
Two. Well, there's only two keys. There's Avengers West Coast 45, which is the White Vision, and then there's 94, which is a Rhodey key. I
Mhm.
can't remember. I think it's the first time he's called War Machine or something like that. And that one's a big key right now, although I don't consider it to be a big key. For me, 45 is the only big key. But I think there might be more coming, though. I
You
think
think
that
so?
they've been dabbling in the West Coast Avengers stuff, especially with Scarlet Witch's kids. Now, if you watch Multiverse of Madness, I don't know where that's going to go, but I really feel like it's not. I really feel like that whole thing is definitely not done because her kids are going to end up being young Avengers. So I think that there's a lot of opportunity for them to tap into some other Avengers West Coast books. I'm thinking of the cover with Master Pandemonium with his two arms up, and he's got two kids as his hands, which are actually Wanda's kids or part of his soul. So there are a lot of books that could become keys, but right now just really only one.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying the daily West Coast Avengers posts on Instagram. It's been fun. Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think there's a lot of potential spec there. It's really a title that I think needs to garner more attention, especially like there are a lot of legendary authors have worked on that entire run, and so it is significant from a comic book standpoint.
Oh, by
And
the way,
you've got players like U.S. Agent, you've got Scarlet Witch, you've got Wonder Man rumors coming on now. So we're getting some key West Coast Avengers players. We'll see what happens though.
Yeah.
Sorry, Naman.
hey Les, did you get my package? By the way, I'm just wondering. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you guys.
No, that's it. That's all I got.
All right. So, yeah, you and I are pretty much, I think, in that same area because I started collecting right around the same time. I had comic books from earlier, like, late bronze to early copper, but you don't really collect as a little kid. You're just reading comic books. But when you get a little older and you start to know what the hobby is and get an appreciation, that's when you start collecting. And I was just right around the same era, late 80s, right before Image is when I really started buying books for collecting and taking care of them and all that. So, I mean, what made you get into comic books? And you are obviously collecting, West Coast Avengers. Is there anything else that you were like into? And you said you were collecting Image. Why don't we just walk through your progression as a collector, what you got into and what you still enjoy now?
So, what up, J80? Good to see you, brother. Pages, Films, and Plastics. What up, man? Kenneth Bird. What up, homies? Thanks for coming through. It's that my memory on that is real hazy. I think for me, before I started collecting comic books, I collected baseball cards, and I wasn't really a baseball fan, but I collected baseball cards, and I enjoyed the stock trading aspect of baseball cards more than anything, looking at the price guides and things of that sort and trying to get cards that were worth a lot of money. So that was a big part of it, and I think that is part of what drew me into comics is the same sort of stock buying and selling kind of attitude about it, because I ended up trading all of my cards to bring for all comic books. So I cashed out of baseball cards and just went full.
Did you do well on those baseball cards?
There are some that I wish I still had, but if they're worth anything now, I don't know. I don't even remember what I had. Actually, it was so long ago. But I'm not. Do I regret the trade? No, I don't regret the trade because I got a bunch of great. They were low quality books, but there were a bunch of great books from like Hulk 101 or 102, I think it was the first solo Hulk. Stuff from that era, Tales of Suspense. So they weren't great quality books worth a lot of money, but it was a lot of great and fun reading. So I don't regret the trade at all.
Wow.
Oh, she got it. Naman. She did get it.
Yeah, she did get it, and she's gonna. There's gonna be something awful in there. I don't think she's gonna be able to eat. Otaku Hyang, you know what pandegi is?
Yeah.
I said to her pandegi.
Silkworms. Oh, you did?
I don't think she's gonna be able to eat that one.
No, I don't think most people would want to eat that. I've eaten it, but I'm not a fan of it either.
I loved it when I was a kid,
Yeah.
but
My mom loves it. It's basically like roasted silkworms, and then
No,
it's
it's
cooked
a-
in a soup.
it's a
It's
silkworm cocoon. It's a leftover from silkworm after it pulls out all the silk out of the worm. It's a cocoon that's left over, and there's a lot of protein in there.
Yeah, you lost me at silkworm. I'm good. I'm out.
Marcus,
All right.
Marcus is speculator. Are you?
Spec Paul Brad in the house. I am definitely way more of a comic book reader than a speculator. But I definitely like to dabble in speculating. It's fun. Come on, it's fun.
Yeah.
Do you think you do well in speculating?
No, I don't. A lot of times what happens is I will buy a bunch of books because I'm speculating on it or I'm excited about it. And then what ends up happening is when I give away AOKs, that's where I grab my books because I've got multiple copies of it. I'm like, all right, yeah, there it is. So I usually, rather than selling and making money, I end up sending these things in AOKs.
Wow.
So I'm not good at this, is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not making money in this game. Like, I just got a bunch of signature series slabs from Planet Comic Con, and I don't want to sell any of them, but I gotta sell some of them because that CGC bill is so fat. I gotta offset the cost somehow. So I'm trying to work myself into, all right, you can do it. You can sell them. You don't have to keep everything. I'm working on it.
Yeah. What are some of the things you picked up?
Oh, well, those are going to be some of the things I show. Yeah, that's
awesome.
I got 14 gold slabs from Planet Comic Con, and I got 1 from Heroes Con because I was broke at Heroes.
Yeah, why aren't you promoting your thing right now? You know what? I'm going to interrupt this and show your creativity. Show your creativity here, right?
All right. I'm supposed to be working on a video right now. Oh well. I usually work on my Saturday video.
These videos are so much fun, and I'm amazed by all the hard work you put into them.
Well, the memes are pretty easy actually. It's hard coming up
July 23rd. Wait, where you going? Where you going?
Shit, hip hop really came you.
Have you registered your nominations at cbcawards.org? The final deadline is July 23rd. Wait, where you going? Where you going?
Shit, hip hop really came you.
It feels
weird. cbcawards.org. The final deadline is July 23rd. Wait, where you going?
There's definitely a dopamine hit whenever I drop one on Instagram and I get the likes going. It's really a high that I get. So I'm really trying to come up with the funny ones so I can get 100 likes is always like, all right, I had a good one. If I can get to 100 likes, then I feel like it was a good one. Anything less, and it was all right.
So you had to change your outfit to match hers, right?
No, you know what? That was purely coincidence. Because what happened was it was in the morning, and I was doing my morning look through the news and through pop culture media, and I saw that politician's clip, and that's what I was wearing, and I was like, I just immediately cut it and made it right there, and I just happened to be, and I noticed it after the fact that I was wearing pretty similar clothes. I was like, that worked out pretty good.
So I think you had to make a whole series where you just wear some, similar clothes to some of these ladies,
and then just drop in on them.
John.
Well, when the nomination period is done. Well, the nomination period is done for Comic Book Community Awards because that's what that was for the Comic Book Community Awards. I've really been trying to push awareness of those awards. I've just real quick, last year it was the first year of those awards, and there was a lot of controversy around it, and I didn't care about any of it, honestly. There are some people that were really in their feelings about it and upset about it, and I didn't care either way. It didn't matter to me if it existed. Yeah. But what ended up happening is I ended up catching the replay of the award show, and then that's when Brian won me over. I saw his vision, I saw his energy, I saw what he was trying to do with it. And it wasn't, it was like SNL. It wasn't always the funniest. We're trying to be funny, but you don't always hit. Same thing with my memes on Instagram. If I don't get 100 likes, it was all right. It's one of those things. You did your best. And that's what he did on the show. But I really enjoyed the energy of it. And my favorite part was where he just brought members of this community in and showcased them and showcased what they're doing and exposed me to people that I wasn't necessarily familiar with. And so after I watched it, I was like, okay, I get it. I'm in. I'm on Brian's side on this thing. I want to make this. I'm buying into this thing, and I want to make it bigger and better next year. So that's what it's about for me, because a lot of the energy last year was about who's in, who's out, who won, who got the award. And who gives a fuck about who won the award? Like, it doesn't matter. For me, it's about showcasing this.
I don't care.
Yeah, just showcasing this community. It's just an honor to be nominated, right? To get your name up there and to be recognized, that would be enough. I don't care either way, but that would be plenty for me if I did get it. But because it's just about the community and showcasing it and showing people the love that we have in this community, and that's what I'm pushing for this year. So we're tallying the nominations now. We had a bigger year than last year, which is always the goal. So we had a lot more nominations this year, which I was really excited to hear about. And the voting process will begin here. I think in a month or so. I'm not sure. I know the process is too long here. But once voting starts, you will see me back. I will be doing my best to promote the voting again as well. So be ready. If you got ideas, let me know, because I will be cutting more videos come time.
Awesome. Yeah, I think we didn't mention basically the Comic Book Community Awards just finished up the first stage of the nomination process. So they had categories, and you could pretty much vote for anybody in the community that you wanted based on those categories. But now that voting is closed, so the first stage is closed, and they're going to open up the final nominations soon. And that's something I think if you weren't able to participate in the first phase, it's something you definitely want to do for the second phase. And yeah, I agree with everything you said, Marcus. I think that was very well put. It's just a award. It's sort of just recognizing the hard work people are doing in the community, and it's really just a celebration of
exactly
our hobby.
Celebration is the word that was the energy that I got from watching it, and that. So I think there's still going to be heat and controversy probably this year, but it just, for me, and I told Brian this, I was like, it can just be for the people that it's for, and the people that it's not for, it can just not be for them, and we can just play it like that.
Yeah.
Hello.
What up, Blonde? Amazon. I've never met you, Blonde, but those are two words that I like.
Blonde Amazon.
I love those two. I love a woman I can look up to.
All right, so Marcus, we're gonna go, and you're gonna show us some of the books. And they look like they're going to be big books if they're signature books.
Hey, Trav.
So let's get to it.
Trav knows what's up. Go Chiefs! We're almost back. Okay, all right. So I'm going to start. I'm not going to start with a slab. Actually, I'm going to start with a gift I got. Actually, so Beckerman is a member of this comic book community on Instagram. Becker Likes Comics. Great guy. Really enjoy being around him. And he actually lives in Missouri. He lives on the crappy side of Kansas City. He lives on the Missouri side. But even despite that, I still let him hang out with us and go to a movie with me and some of my friends. We go to every single comic book, the big comic book movies. We always go together and check them out. And so we've added Beckerman to that group. And after the first movie we went to, which was Thor, he ended up giving me a book. Actually, another one of my friends gave me what did he give me? He gave me Something Is Killing the Children.
Wow.
But it was from Paris, though. He had just come back from Paris, so it's all in French. So that was really cool. I don't know what I did.
That is cool.
But the other one that I got that night was Captain America 100.
He gifted you that.
Yes.
Wow.
Captain America. I was on. I every Wednesday night. I'm on my Comic Book Dad's channel, Indie Comics and Reviews. Every Wednesday night, we do his new Comic Book Day show, which I really enjoy hanging out with him and chatting. And Beckerman is usually there hanging out with us as well. And I had mentioned that I wanted to someday.
That's right.
I wanted to someday own this book, and next thing I know, he's handing me this book. So shout out to Beckerman. That is my guy. Unbelievable A-OK. I just could not believe. And so I definitely want to press this and get it submitted and have this just locked in my collection until I die. Absolutely. I love this cover. Classic stuff. And I love Captain America because he doesn't necessarily represent America, but he does represent the best of America, our ideals that we don't always obtain and grab, but they are our ideals, and that means something. That's a big deal. And I enjoy that Captain America for that. I really love the way that they did him in the MCU. I thought he was great because he really represented in those movies what he represents in the comic books to me, the best of America.
Yeah.
And in these day and age, man, it's nice to hold on to the best of America because I don't always feel it anymore. So yeah, shout out to
That's a
Beckerman.
big book.
That's
a
from
big book.
Beckerman.
That's from Beckerman. That's my homie. Love that guy. Extreme. And the thing about Beckerman is like this is chump change to Beckerman. His collection is insane. He's been a hardcore collector for 30 plus years now. So he bought this book when it was cheap. And it's not cheap anymore.
Wow.
And so he had two of them, and he bought both of his when they were much cheaper than they are now. And so that's why he was able to let it go. So really love this book.
Still, man. I mean, still.
I love it because it represents like this community, just the amazingness in this community. I know, and we talk about it all the time, but it really is an amazing thing, especially in this day and age where, you go on Twitter and you can say one little innocent thing about one thing and people will decide your whole life based off of that. They will know everything they need to know about you based off one little opinion that you gave. And it's just this, it just feels like there's this hate. And comic books has been my refuge from the culture wars that we're going through, where we just seem to fight about every single thing. And that's why I come into this comic book. I shut all that out because I used to be a political junkie watching news 24/7, just engorging myself on information. And what I realized is that I just was angry every day.
I mean, either side is
every day
to make you angry. Either side,
and that's what I realized is that it really is designed to make you angry because that's what makes you come back and watch more.
Yeah.
And I realized that both sides, like, not getting into the truthness of either side, but getting into just the goal of either side, which is to keep eyeballs locked in. And the way that they do that is by triggering you every day, pointing out what's bad, what you don't like. And it reminds me of, I spent a lot of time on Twitter. I used to anyway. And there was this guy who was an American, but he spent a lot of time in Japan. And he used to comment on the differences between, Six Face is not an option in our real life, but in this comic book thing, it absolutely is an option, and I'm taking that option. Like, I'm not trying to fight. Like, I made one of my memes that I made was making fun of people who thought Thor was funny, and I was completely joking about it, but Six Face was a little upset about it and unfriended me over it. So, like, I'm not like I am that. I'll put it this way. I have Six Face energy when it comes to like real life, and I'm really engaging people in politics. Six Face and I probably agree far more than we disagree. But when it comes to comic books, I don't care about any of that because first of all, it doesn't matter. You're not going to change anybody's opinion. Nobody actually cares what I think, and I assure you, I don't care what you think. It's just how it is now. So why would we even waste our time? Let's just move and talk about the things that we love. Going back to the point, though. There was a guy on Japan. He was on Twitter and he spent time in Japan, but he was an American, and he commented on the differences a lot between Japan and America. And the thing that he said that really stuck with me and really like attacked me, I felt personally attacked by it, is he said, one thing he noticed is that in Japan, they talk about the things that they love. So when they get on media, they push the things that they love, the things that they're excited about. But in America, when we get on the media, we push and talk about the things that we hate. And I looked at my own Twitter, and I looked at my own social media, and I realized that he was attacking me with that statement, that I was spending a lot of time on the things that I hated and not nearly enough time talking about the things that I loved. And that's what this comic book thing is. This is a chance for me to say, I don't want to talk about any of the things that I hate, because believe you me, there is a ton of things that I hate with a red hot passion right now. And I need a break from that. I need a break. And that's what comic books has been for me. So I love it. I love it a lot. I love this community, and I don't want to fight. I don't want to have these culture wars. And I will choose the option of not fighting when it comes to this community. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I have a suspicion that we all come from different spectrum of politics, and yet we're able to do this with the comic book. So I really appreciate that.
Well, I think the people in this room probably are not so far in terms of spectrum, but but yeah, there are definitely people in the community that, it's a wide ranging, the comic book community. I mean, we talk about it like it's a uniform thing, but it's so diverse. It's cross generational. It's cross political. It's international. It's it's about as diverse as you can get. And so that's part of why I love the community. But I think you hit on a great point. This hobby is therapeutic for a lot of people, and we got to recognize that. This is something where you can kind of escape into a world where the pages have these large ideals and live up to the values of larger things that we're striving for as a species. So great point. And
Damien, real quick, I started a Circumstances Twitter account, and I haven't fully gotten into it, but I've started to just make it just completely about comic books, and I am slowly transitioning to using that one more and more, because it's just a happier place than because my regular account is just following political people, and they're just doing what they do, and it's not nearly as fun as the timeline for comic books. So yeah, I recommend. I started in this. I have my personal Instagram where I share my family and stuff, and then I have my comic book Instagram, Circumstances, and I spend probably 90-10 in terms of my time between the two. I spend far more time on my comic book one now than I don't even really look at my personal one anymore, because this comic book timeline is just way more fun and interesting and exciting and happy inducing,
Well, I think I agree with this one. Comics are pretty heavily male.
Absolutely. And video games too, I'm a huge gamer, and so I've been really excited about Grand Theft Auto 6. And there's this huge controversy because people are mad because for the first time ever the character is going to be a woman, and male escapists are losing their stupid ass mind, and it's just like, why are we so, like, this country, we've been given everything and we're just so dumb. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah, people need to chill with those kinds of
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Well, all right, let's get to some more books. That was a great first one. That's going to be hard to follow up.
Oh God, jeez. All right. Well, so for the next one, I'm gonna go triple, because it represents my favorite in comic books right now.
Whoa.
And
I think I know what those are.
It's
Yep.
When I share, like I said before, when I collected in the 90s, none of my friends got it. My friends made fun of me. They didn't collect with me, so it was never a shared experience. And that's why this YouTube community, this Instagram community is so much amazing, because it's just like it's just like enhanced collecting so much to be able to share it with people who think like you and aren't calling you a geek for doing it. You know, it just makes it so much better. But I do have some friends that I've gotten to dabble. I've gotten 3 friends to dabble in comic books. And the way that I did that is by sharing my absolute favorite comic book right now with them and saying, hey, I know you're not into comic books, but this is what they can do. This is what they can be. This is how they can suck you in. And I shared it. I shared all 3 volumes with 3 people, and they all got it, and they all understood, and they all locked in. And that's from my favorite absolute writer doing it right now,
Getting
James
100%
Tynion.
there, bud.
James Tynion the 4th. This is the 7th print. This is the foil, not the first one.
Oh, wow.
I wish it was an actual first one. But yeah, 9/8, number 1, 7th print. There's
Beautiful.
Something is Killing the Children. It's my absolute favorite. I stand hard as hell for it. Like, don't ask my opinion about Something is Killing the Children, because that's like asking me my opinion about my children. You know, I love them. They're the best. Your children suck compared to mine. You know, it's just one of those things, right? Don't ask my opinion. It's a waste of your time. But I love it. And so these are some of my
Nice.
favorite slabs.
Nice.
This is the 1 in 25 for 15. The Michael Dielinus cover. I love this cover so much. I wish it was a 9/8.
Completing the run, right? I mean, you just you haven't missed the issue.
Oh, I don't have a first print of 1, and I don't have a first print. I don't have 2 through 6. I have a second print of 7, and then I have everything after.
Something is killing Marcus.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to stand for it. And then here is the Raf Grassetti
Whoa.
101. This is the number 16 variant from the Mystery Mail Call. This was by far his best mail call month. By far. I love this cover. I recently saw Tynan at Planet Comic Con here in Kansas City, and I wish I would have just unslabbed or took this in, unslabbed it, and had him sign it. But oh well, maybe next time. But I love this cover. It's gorgeous. This is like a $250 slab right now too. It's shot up in price.
Yeah.
How much you
But
got?
this one's mine. This one's mine.
How much you got it
Forever.
for?
I was subscribed to the mail call, so I got it through the mail call.
Yeah.
It was what $42 for the mail call. You got this book plus the other exclusive plus some dollar bin books they send you. So
yeah,
hard to say how much.
That had a limited. I mean, they basically issue out. They commissioned that cover, so it's really limited in print. So.
Yeah, usually about 3,000 for the trade dress and about 1,000, 1,500 for the Virgin.
Wow.
Usually, he usually prints the print count. But
That's
I loved it. I don't do the mail call anymore. I enjoy the mail call. I think it's cool, but it's not for me. I decided it's not going to be an every month thing. It's going to be, hey, this month has a really dope one. I'm going to sign on this month.
Yeah.
Where you get a mail call from if you were to get one?
Oh, you go through Comic Tom 101. He does a special monthly set of books that you pay a subscription for or one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he announces what the books are. So there's usually 2 exclusives, and then you get a children's book, and then you get a couple of dollar bin books usually. So if you're not into the exclusives, it's completely not worth it because the dollar bin books will be dollar bin books.
Yeah.
But if you are into the exclusives, then it can be. And then there's some months where the exclusive is hot as hell, like that's number 16 from Raf Grassetti.
Yeah.
You would have made your money on the one book alone. You know, the one book alone was worth more than the whole thing that cost.
So. Oh yeah.
But it's not like that every month. It just depends on the exclusive.
Yeah. Well, I think this month is Peach Momoko Gambit cover, which looks really, really nice.
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
Me too.
What up, Diamond Princess? Good to see you, homie. Those hands. I know those hands so well. She's always got beautifully manicured.
Yeah. We love her. We love her nails. All right. So any other books that you want to show off?
Yeah, Comic Tom and Mill Geek. Oh yeah, I got more, man. Let's show off. So I showed this off last night on my channel. Check it out. I unboxed my first CGC gold slab submission from Planet Comic Con, and then there was one from Heroes Con So 12 books total that I went through. So check that out if you're interested in unboxings. But I'm going to share one of them that I shared last night. This is my only gold slab that has 2 signatures on it. And I snagged this from Heroes Con. It was the first thing I did. I ran over to the Bombardier. I always want to say Bombardier and Son, but I guess it's Bombardier and Son. I ran over to the Bombardier and Son booth because they had Trey Antley over there, who's a dope artist who's been doing some variants for Red Room, for Ed Pisker's Red Room. And so I wanted to, they had one exclusive over there that was limited, and I wanted to make sure that I got one for me, and I wanted to make sure I got one for my comic book dad. So I was able to do it both, but for mine, I ended up shooting it over, and I went and got my witness, Ricky, from One Stop Comic Shop, and I got him to witness Ed Pisker signing it right there.
Nice.
And then I went and got Trey Antley to sign it down there. So
Sweet.
this is an homage to a classic Neil Adams Batman cover, if you don't recognize it. And I really love the homage. I'm a sucker for an homage, and I was a sucker for this one as well. And I'm excited to have that dual sig, man. Both Trey was super cool, and Ed Pisker was also very cool guys. Ed Pisker had on these New York knits, these Patrick Ewing kicks, original Ewing kicks that were super clean, super fire, super dope. He was looking so fresh. But I loved Heroes Con. I really enjoyed Planet Comic Con this year. I highly recommend that you guys come see us in Kansas City next year. It's right in the middle of the country, perfectly situated for some comic book nerds to come together and meet up. So I'm pushing for that.
Which one? I missed it.
Planet Comic Con in Kansas City. I believe it's March next year. So I would love to see the homies come in town. Let's all get down. Comic Con Marcus is much different from regular everyday Marcus, and I highly recommend you come check it out. But all that said about Planet Comic Con, Heroes Con was just a better con because it was more focused on comic books. Planet Comic Con, and no disrespect, to each their own, but Planet Comic Con had more celebrities and things of that sort going on, whereas Heroes Con was about comic book artists, creators, and things of that sort. It was way more focused on that. So I really enjoyed it. Charlotte, North Carolina was awesome. Really enjoyed my time, and I really enjoyed getting this book. This is going to be one of those books that I keep, not only because I love it, but because it represents my time at that con in Heroes Con. So I will definitely be back in Charlotte next year, and I can't wait. Number 2, baby.
Who were some of the other artists at Heroes Con when you were there?
Man, there was so many. Jim Starlin, John Romita Jr., Chris Claremont, Mark. I got to talk to Mark Badley. Mark Badley was super fun.
Wow.
Golly, I'm gonna.
Was it Stranko there? Stranko?
Jim Stranko was there. Bob Hall was there.
Wow, Bob Hall.
Chris Pachalo was there. It was packed. I'm telling you, it was packed.
Nice.
There was all kinds of people in there. So I could go on and on. There was a ton of awesome creators there. Georges Gianti, who was the artist on Shadow Doctor, which was a great book from Aftershock Comics. If you're not up on that, highly recommend it. But I got to sit and chat with him, got to sign some books from him as well. There was a ton of great artists, and I cannot wait to go back next year. Where are you? See, Naman, I thought you were in Oklahoma, but somebody told me you were actually in Maryland.
I'm in Virginia, but I go back and forth between Oklahoma and Virginia.
Why would you ever go to Oklahoma?
That's my home, man. That's my home.
Yeah, but you can leave it and never go back. I mean, that's what I would do.
No, but that's where my parents are.
You haven't got them out?
Well, they're in New York now, but they still have home over there. So it's dude.
I'm just a hater.
You know what they say. Why,
Scotty Young. Yeah.
You know why Oklahoma is so windy?
Because it sucks.
No.
Don't say it because Kansas sucks. Because we're awesome.
Kansas blows and Texas sucks.
Whatever. I will not accept that slander. Okay, because you guys are just a slight step above Texas to me.
Exactly. It's hot in Texas. I don't know why anybody would want to. Oh man, it's hot in Seattle right now. We're dealing with 90 temperature,
Boo.
but I can't imagine triple digit.
My little brother called me last week to tell me that he was not moving back to Kansas, that he was staying in Texas. So I don't have a little brother anymore. So I hate Texas that much.
It's pretty bad. All right, so are any more books, or is that it?
No, I had 5 books prepared.
Yeah. Yes.
And so that's what I brought.
Oh,
so we'll do.
Okay, that's due to the earthquake in Oklahoma. Is due to the, what do you call it when they drink?
The with natural gas fracking.
Yeah, fracking. When they frack and they pull out all those minerals and they replace it with this junk water. It's just it's a man-made earthquakes. Basically,
it really is, because that was not a problem before all that stuff happened.
Is that what causes those like big sinkholes to pop up?
Well, that's a different thing, though.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I just know that it's causing earthquakes because they suck all that stuff out of the ground, and
then they replace it with the water. Not enough water to go in there, and water also evaporates and it all it seeps out. So so it's not way to fill those holes.
That, not to get too political, but that whole energy thing, like, we need energy, and we're willing to do a lot of things to get it that maybe we shouldn't do, and that might be fracking, that might be shaking or fist bumping, Saudi oil giants, but at the end of the day, we need that oil, and I just think we can say what we want about morals and all these things, but at the end of the day, we gotta have it. I'm on that too. I'm afraid of nuclear waste, and how do we deal with all that? But I'm to the point where, like, what choice do we have? We gotta do something.
We talked about Texas. Texas is in a situation where they pretty much contributed to climate change, and they're dealing. So they need gas to stay cool in the summer in an environment and climate that they created, that the industry created, right? So it's this like really catch-22, a really ironic situation that Texans have to live with. It's like a Matrix situation. I was like,
you're gonna depress me, man. You're gonna depress me, because what that speaks to is, it just speaks to this system where we have these major problems that have to be addressed, but they don't actually get addressed because there are entrenched interests who benefit from those issues, and that applies to left and right, across the board, across all things. There are just things that have to be fixed, and they don't get fixed because the interest benefit from it. And the biggest one is energy. That's the biggest one.
It is. The people don't realize how big the fuel industry is. It's
everything.
It's everything.
And like and that's the thing. Like, we'll complain when Trump goes and meets with the Saudis, or we'll complain when Biden goes and fist bumps. But like, if we don't do those things and they shut off the valve, we're going to complain way more about the consequences of not doing those things, And we don't think about that. Like, we say, hey, we shouldn't do that, but like, we got to have that gas, or our life does not function the way that it currently functions anymore.
Right.
Brian, I just met Brian recently. He's from Oklahoma also.
I'm sorry, Brian.
You can still get out, Brian.
Brian, we Okies have to stick together against this Kansas.
Yeah, I mean, it could be worse. Southpaw Brad's from South Carolina, so I mean, it could be worse. You could be from the real South. Although I went, like I said,
was you?
It's been a joke for a long time that I'm scared of the South. If you were a former Confederate state, then I'm scared of you. But I had a blast in Charlotte, man, in North Carolina. I had so much fun. I can't wait to go back. I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
And it was a great.
Thank you.
North Carolina is nice, especially the coastal region.
Greater than OU. Yes, sir.
I love those rivals. You got the KU State rivalry here. If I have to choose, I would like both of them to, sink into the earth. But if I had to choose one, I would definitely choose Stillwater. I like partying in Stillwater back in the day.
That's a party time, dude. That's
Oh,
all
yeah,
we
they
can do.
don't
That's
care.
all we can do.
Yeah. I had some fun down there back in the day. I had a friend from Blackwell, and I used to go down to his farm, ride 4-wheelers, shoot guns. I got a piece of that country life, and it's a sweet life. It's a sweet
Yeah.
life for sure.
Yeah. All right.
All right. What is this? Sinkholes in Kansas?
Kansas, ad astra per aspera. That's our motto: to the stars through difficulty, baby. Oh yeah, I got what? I'll just do 2 more. I mean, how
Yep.
much time do we have here?
Yeah,
How
we
are
got
doing on
plenty
time?
of time. We got plenty of
Okay.
time.
So the
You
next
can show
one
more if you want.
is another Tynan book. This is from Planet Comic Con, and this is Batman '89, first print, first cameo appearance of Punchline. So this is a raw. This book is worth $50.
Wow.
And the reason why I mention that is because I found this book digging in the bins in one of the shops around here. And it was in this back bin with no bag, no board for cover price. And at that time, it was worth $50 on the Key Collector, but it was in here from no bag, no board for cover price. So super pumped to find it. I pull it out and buy it. And then I'm just excited to get out of the store with this $50 books for $4. And I decide it looks like a pretty clean copy. You know, it's hard to believe it's a 9.8 because it was sitting in there with no bag, no
That's
board.
amazing.
But I was like, you know, it looks really clean. Let me go ahead and have him sign it and send it in. And I thought it would be a 9.4, a 9.6, but boom, came back a 9.8. So in
How do you
terms of
find it and
monitor,
get
And that's a
little-
Capullo cover?
no, is it Jorge or is it Capullo? Oh no, it's Tony S. Daniel.
Tony Daniel cover. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But
How did you get it signed? You just
it was at Planet Comic Con. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got a bunch of them signed at Planet Comic Con by him, and this was
Sweet.
one of them. And so, in terms of just monetary value, this is the biggest come up ever in terms of my comic book collecting because you know you've got the $4 buy-in, it's worth $50, and then you add on the gold slab part of it, it's worth quite a bit more. Now, this one is for me because I have the full Tynan run of Batman. And I need 89 to keep that run complete. So this one's not going anywhere. I'm not selling it. But in terms of monetary value, this was a huge come up.
That's a huge,
Yeah.
yeah.
Spec Paul Brad knows what I'm talking about.
That's a
baby.
huge margin, a huge profit margin. You know, I cover in I basically have a philosophy that you're destined to meet some books when you're out there on a hunt. That's your Unmyeong book. That's your Unmyeong book. That's your Korean destiny book.
Heck yeah, baby. I like that. And that's what it's all about. Like, that's the dream, right? You spin and you dig and you look at all these books and it's wasting you feel like you're wasting your time, and then boom, you weren't wasting your time.
Exactly.
That's why I love going out and finding new shops, you know, because the shops around here, I've dug through them pretty good, you know.
You ever hit the flea market in Kansas, Oklahoma?
I try and switch, you know, the furthest I will drive so far is 30 minutes. It's a 30-minute drive. Although I did drive an hour to Topeka once and checked out their shops, which was dope. There was some cool shops down there. Actually, I would like to make it back that way because I feel like this when I go to Topeka and shoot around, like I can find old X-Men. Like I really love Volume 1 Uncanny X-Men books. And up here, they're just way overpriced. Whereas in Topeka, I feel like they're more appropriately priced. So I really like getting out and finding new shops for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like things are kind of overpriced here as well in Seattle, but hopefully.
Yeah, Brad, I gotta sell some of these though. I've got to offset this cost. I got to sit down and actually figure out prices and what I'm going to sell because I'm going to Fountain City Con here tomorrow in the KC area, and I'm definitely going to try and hawk some of these slabs because my CGC bill was fat. I got to offset that bad boy.
Yeah, CGC is. You know, book submissions are getting up there now.
It's worth in terms of if you get a 9.8, I should say the value boost is worth it, right? Yeah, it's
Mhm.
definitely worth it. But if you're submitting 9.6s, which I had a few 9.6 disappointments,
Yeah.
that it's crazy the drop between 9.8 and 9.6. Really, and I don't really buy slabs, but I've decided if I do buy slabs, I'll never buy 9.8. I'll just buy 9.6s, man.
Yeah.
I mean, probably for my at least my naked eye, they probably won't make any difference.
Did you fast track those slabs? The ones from Heroes Con?
I had the ones from Planet Comic Con, no. So they took about 3 months, but the one from Heroes Con, I did fast track it. It took about a month to get back.
Wait, is there a difference between addiction and hobby?
Yeah. For normal people, there is, but not for us. Yeah, I think 9.6 is really
I am.
because just logically, if you look at the monetary gap between a 9.8 and a 9.6, it's
Yes,
not. It
yes,
doesn't.
Otaku is holding back his CGC rant.
It doesn't make sense. Does Otaku? Does he have a CGC rant? Let me
Yeah, he
hear it.
does.
Well, actually, I've softened my position on it. I've actually just went ahead and accepted the terms and conditions because I need to have eyes on my books. I've got books there.
So you're one of the purists. I get it.
I've got books there that I've been waiting. It's
Nice
approaching a year. It's approaching a year now, and they're still waiting to be pressed and cleaned and pressed. So they're taking their sweet time.
So you sent it to CGC to be pressed?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's where you went.
CCS to be pressed, and then
that's where you went wrong. They take forever, man.
Yeah.
There is always that battle in this community between the monetary value of books and then the literary value of books, right? And some of us play both. Like I'm in the, I play both. I'm definitely more towards the literary value than I am towards the monetary value, but I definitely play sides. And then you have people who play one side or the other and they want to fight about it. And it's like, there's been times where I post something about the value of a book and someone's like, or you could just read it and enjoy it. And I'm like, man, shut up. shut your ass up, dude.
Yeah. You can read a lot of things, but the collectability is
to each their own.
Else. Yeah.
Play, and that's another thing in this country, it's like, play it how you feel it, and you ain't got to worry about how other people are playing it. And there's a lot of times people are worrying about how other people are playing it, and it doesn't matter at all. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. Cat Fan, what's up? I know you've been in here, but I didn't say what's up. What's up, Cat Fan? Raw Fost Comics. That's a new name for me. What's up?
Oh, really? You haven't seen Raw Fost?
No, yeah.
Oh, okay.
What up, homie?
He does a lot of.
You got all the cool kids in your channel. Is this the late night crew? I'm usually way in bed by now.
So what you talk a lot about, the hobby and what you're doing in it. Walk us through sort of, the different things you're doing on social media, the different contents that you create. It looks like you've been engaged in content creation for quite some time now. Why don't you talk about, your channel, your different channels, whom, people you're engaged with, and the kind of stuff you're into.
It's the best part of comic book collecting. So, what is it? Pandemic time. When most of us came back to this game is when I came back to it. And for me, I collected in the 90s, as I said. And even though I quit collecting, I still lugged those 90s comics everywhere I went, from college to, various roommates. I always brought them with me. And over the years, I would pull them out and be like, look at these things, and look at them and enjoy them. And then I would look up online, be like, I wonder if I'm a millionaire yet. And they, no, I was not a millionaire every single time. But in 2021, I pulled them out and looked at them and said, look at these things. Here's my childhood sitting right here, and just going through it. And like, I wonder if I'm a millionaire yet. And I got online, and no, I was still not a millionaire. But I found this community of comic book nerds on YouTube and Instagram, enjoying and sharing and just loving it. And that's what I was like, wait a second, and I just got drunk off trying to find channels and just consuming content. I found the Things from Another World website, which is really a great website. Like in terms of like, they may not be the best dealer, but they have the best website in terms of looking at comic books and deciding what you want to buy. So I found their website, and I just like, I can still like, feel it sometimes, that geeky excitement of going through and looking at these books and imagining getting them and reading them, and like it just reignited a fire for me. And so I just started collecting. I started jumping on Instagram. I made a comic book Instagram and started hanging out in some lives. And I started the Comic Tom Mystery Mail Call. And he had this contest where if you post about it, maybe he chooses you and you win something. So I was like, I want to win some stuff. And so I made a video trying to win something and posted it on Instagram. And then I said, you know what, I'll post it on YouTube too. And then after I posted it, I went and looked at it and I watched my own video and I was like, holy shit, I would never watch this video. I would never click on this. I would never watch it. This dude's an idiot. I'm an idiot. It's like, and I was like, it was like, I wonder if I could make that not suck. And that was the beginning of my channel of saying, hey, all right, that was completely trash. I wonder if I can make it not trash. And it continues to be trash, but it becomes a little less trashy every single time, I think. And that's the process that I've really enjoyed, of just being less sucky, just trying to be less sucky.
Yeah.
No,
And so
you got great content. I think it's, I look to strive to that your standard and level of content creation.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I really do.
You spend a lot of time editing your videos.
Exactly.
That Saturday, I really don't, except for my Saturday video on YouTube. That motherfucker takes time.
Never watch your
takes
videos.
time.
That's my rule of thumb. I hate my voice. Do you hate your voice when you first heard it?
I'm over it now, but there was a time when I hated it. Like, yeah, there was a time when I really hated how white I hated how white I sounded, to tell you the truth. Because I'm half white. You can't tell by looking at me. My mom is actually white. And so culturally, even though I'm a proud Black man, culturally there's a lot of white in me. I'm ethnically I'm 55% white, believe it or not.
I want to sound white so bad.
I don't. I'm trying to sound like a Jew. I'm trying to sound hood, but it ain't working out for me.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, so I started the channel and I used to do 3 videos a week. I would do a comic book short doing the top 10 comic book cover art of the week. I would do my weekly New Comic Book Day haul video on Wednesday. And then on the weekend, I would do a preview of the coming week where I really try to focus on the artists and the writers and really showcase them in my video. And then I got to the point where I was like, I'm spending a lot of time editing for not very many views, especially that New Comic Book Day haul video. I would spend, 5 hours editing. I'd spend an hour making the video and then 5 hours editing it and then post it and get 80 views, which is cool. I respect it. But like for the amount of time that I was putting into it, it just wasn't worth it. So I scrapped all 3 of the videos that I was doing, and I was going to switch my channel to a more speculation channel because that seemed like what people wanted to see. But then I just never got really motivated to do that. And so for a while, I just wasn't doing any. I think for like 3 weeks, I wasn't doing any videos. And then I started to miss doing my Saturday video where I showcased the artists and the creators, not because of the views that I got or the subs that I got, but because the value that I got from the process of creating the video. It was really familiarizing myself with these creators, getting to know their names so that when you say a creator's name, well, I've done 6 videos plugging their video or plugging their name and their picture in. So like I'm immediately, yeah, they wrote this, they wrote that, they wrote that. And so I wasn't getting a lot of value in terms of the buzz and the views on my channel from it, but I was getting a lot of value from putting it together and just the knowledge. So for that reason, I started doing that video again. I got to do it. I'll probably have to do it. Actually, we may not do one this weekend because I got a con, but because it takes a long time to do it. But I started doing that one again just for that reason. And so every Saturday I do drop a new comic book day preview video where I show you I try to show you all the covers for the top 10, all the artists, all the writers, and just throw it all together in a fun way with the dope music. I always try and pick some dope music. So that's what I do on YouTube. And then, as you guys have alluded to, on Instagram, Circumstances on Instagram, I try and I comb the internet for funny videos, and I rack my brain for a comic book caption to throw on it to make y'all laugh. And I'm always trying to get that, like I said, that 100 like threshold. If it was less than 100 likes, it was a dud. If I got to 100, then I did well that day.
No, those are the videos I really love watching. They're just so funny.
Yeah. Brian, for me, it's the kids scream. If you watch my live from last night, you get to hear my wife and my kids screaming upstairs. So yeah.
I mean, those videos that you take a lot of time on, I mean, when you first release them, you may not get many views, but those ones that you take time on probably is the one that's gonna, sit there and just constantly get views throughout the
long term. You mean? Yeah,
that is true for the most part, but for us, it's not always true because our content is not evergreen, and that's why it's really hard for us to get big, I think. Because if you look at YouTube as a whole, if you look at the big people in comic book YouTube, they're like 50,000. That's really the ceiling. But the big people in comic book or in YouTube cooking is millions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the ceiling is not very big. And so our content just is not evergreen. Like if you do a how-to video, how to water your lawn, that video can live forever. But if I do a video on next week's comic book day, that video has got a very short lifespan.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah,
I'm saying 2 weeks tops on that video. So no, I mean that can be true, but for us, not really true.
Yeah.
It's got a week, 2 weeks, and then it's dead.
Yeah. I think what I've loved about my channel, it's not necessarily, I'm not trying to get people to view it. It's more to catalog things I pick up and the journey that I'm on. Like that's what I even go back and see things I posted from last year where, that I remember picking up that book. Like you kind of forget, where did I get this book? Where did I pick it up? And then
it's
you
like
remember.
A journal.
It's like a journal. It's a good way to.
That's the value of Facebook for me. Like I've been, Facebook is really dead. I don't know for you guys, but like for me, it's really dead. Engagement is incredibly down. I have a page that I run on there, and I have like 5,500 followers on this page, and my engagement is just cratered on this page.
Mm-hmm.
And my engagement on my own page is just cratered. But I don't really do that. I make videos on YouTube to get people to watch them. It's specifically the thing that I'm trying to do. But on Facebook, it's what you said. It's a catalog. It's a journal. This is what's happening in my life. My favorite thing about Facebook is that memories thing, right? Where it shows you what you were doing on this day, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. And that might be why I never quit Facebook, because I just love having that journal of my life. And absolutely, your comic book, it can be the same thing for comic books. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it very well may be true that I go back and look at some of these videos 6 years nostalgically, 6 years later.
Yeah.
Freedom Suffers, he makes some very entertaining video. I don't even collect cards and I watch his videos.
Fred Hall and Slim are dope. I'm not sure. I'm not aware of Freedom Sufferer.
Oh, you don't know Freedom Sufferer?
No,
he makes his own music. He makes his own music. He makes his own graphics. But he does a lot of cars, and he rarely does comic book. So
no, that's probably why I say I'm strictly. I'll watch card content, but I'm not into. I'm in for the hangout. I'm not in for the cards because I'm strictly comic books. I know there's a ton of gateway drugs in this thing, and I'm avoiding all of them. I spend plenty of money on comic books. I'm not getting into these other gateway drugs.
Marvel cards. I mean, DC Marvel cards. I might get into. I might get into basketball and football cards.
No. I can't afford it.
But those little figures.
Because I'm stupid. Like, I'm the kind of person who's like, if I want it, give me 5 of them. And like, I'm stupid like that. So I don't need more. Because I'm that kind of person. Like some people, they say, oh, okay, all right, here's my check, here's my money. I'm gonna save this amount. I'm gonna spend this amount. I'm like, all right, here's my money. Here's my bills paid. Here's the chunk of money I need to give to my wife. Here's what's left over. How do I spend all of this money? That's the kind of person that I am.
How do I spend all?
How do I get rid of all this money as soon as possible? I should not have money. Let's fix this.
That's so me, man. I blew my entire budget for the year on one book just recently. So
oh wow,
no more comics for me. Yeah, no more comics for me this year.
That's when you got to sell, and that's the hard part. That's the part where I suck at. I'm like, because that's my justification. Is like, all right, I'm gonna do this, but it's gonna be okay. Because like with these slabs that I got, it's like I'm sending 14 slabs, and that's gonna be a hefty CGC bill. But it's okay because I'm gonna sell some. It's gonna be fine. And then the selling part is always, is it really gonna sell? Am I really gonna sell any? We'll see.
Yeah, that's always the issue.
Brian, all the cool kids are doing it. No, Brian.
No, when you got your eBay set up so that you could sell.
I do have an eBay, but I have not done a lot of selling. I sold my Darkhawk #1.
Ooh.
And I sold some Comic Tom exclusives that I didn't care about. But yeah, I haven't done a lot of selling. I've been selling. What I do is there's a Facebook group for Kansas City comic book collectors. And I go on there and try and sell locally and avoid those shipping fees and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to this con tomorrow, and when I get off of here, I'm going to take some pictures of some books and shoot it to this group and be like, find me at this con and buy these slabs so I can buy other shit that I don't need.
Marcus, you know what I find most difficult about selling comic book is packaging and shipping.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I haven't, like, for me, the thing with I haven't been able to ship or find a way to ship as cheaply as other people. Like, if you look at eBay, they're like $6.
Well, I think they lie. They lie and say this is a medium.
Oh, because when I put mine in a Gemini mailer and I set it up, man, it's at least 10, 12 at least every time.
Wow.
So if you take it to post office and say this is a book instead of a comic book, they ship you at $4.99 around there price. $5 for that.
Yeah,
I always have
every book I've shipped, like single books I've shipped, come out to about like $4. Yeah, in terms of shipping.
In a Gemini mailer?
Yeah, through the post office.
But you have to tell them it's a book, not a comic book. The reason they don't accept comic book as a book because it has a advertising in the comic books.
I always have my wife do my mailing. Maybe I should do it myself. She's probably doing it wrong. Maybe I can.
Yeah, it's called media mail, but but if they check, then you get penalized. I guess I don't know what they would do to you.
Check. Especially if it's in a Gemini, no one's going to open it up and check. So
I'll have to check this out. My wife's been doing it wrong. Damn it! Because that's part of the problem with selling. Is like, when I list it on eBay and I got to put a $10 shipping, nobody's going to buy my stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but whoever, if they're saying $5 and they're basically cheating because they have to tell the post office this is a book, not a comic book.
Hey, cheating that you never get caught for, I'm all for it.
Some post office mailer will ask you, "This looks like a comic book."
Oh no, it's not, bro.
I can lie like that.
Yeah. Say it's a print. Say it's a comic print.
Yeah, like I sent what's his name? I sent sketchbooks to what is it? Chop and Drop. I mean, it was about this thick, right? Sketchbooks, and then I sent the comic book was about 18, right? The other comic book was $12. Sketchbook, I was willing to say, hey, that's a book, and they charged like $5 for it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I'm been doing it wrong, man. Yeah, Six Face. I need to look into that, man.
So you mentioned you're going to Comic-Con tomorrow. Anything you're targeting? Are you?
The only thing that I
want list.
I am gonna try, unless I can sell some of these slabs, I'm gonna try and take it easy. The only thing I want to do for sure is get some original art from Jeff Edwards, who's an artist that I love. That's going to be there. I hung out with him quite a bit at Heroes Con, actually, and we talked about being dads. We had similar experiences with our first kid, so we kind of connected on that. And I've been hanging out with him. He has a YouTube channel and a Facebook profile, Jeff Edwards Illustrated. And so I've been hanging out with him on Wednesday nights, really enjoying that. So I'm looking forward to going over to his booth, hanging out with him. And I hope to get some original art from him for sure. That's my only goal at this point. But I know that Burke Family 54 had mentioned doing a contest, a $20 contest between us. There's a few of us going, where we all take $20 and then we try and find the most valuable.
Oh, that sounds
book.
fun. Actually, that sounds fun.
Yeah, give ourselves an hour and go find the most valuable book for $20 and then come back and see the results. So
that's gonna be fun.
We might do some things like that. And I've been terrible at creating content out of cons, but I'm going to try really hard to create some content out of this one.
Yeah. I find so, when I go to con, I'm focused on buying stuff. So I totally forget to turn my camera on. I'm just
I forget. And also the thing about it is I feel like a complete loser. Like, look at this dude, like with his camera out and his little microphone in my face. Get out of here, you loser.
You're too cool, Marcus. You're too cool, Marcus.
You YouTuber. Yeah, I am, I gotta let go. I just gotta be a nerd that I am. I just gotta let the nerd flag fly.
Were you a nerd in high school or a jock?
I have always been a jock hiding his nerd, for sure. I've always been a nerd hiding it. Because like when and not hiding it very well, like I said, when I collected comic books, my friends made fun of me. In college, I would play online games like multi-user dungeons, it's kind of like EverQuest or an MMO, but it's entirely text-based. So it's like this Dungeons and
I love
Dragons
those games.
I had so much fun. I developed in so many ways playing those games, hanging out with the people that I played those games. Like I grew in a million ways that people just will never understand. But I got relentlessly made fun. I was on the football team, and they would all make fun of me. You're going to find the sword in the stone tonight, Marcus? Yeah, so I was very much a jock. I was a homecoming king candidate, that kind of thing. But I've always been at my core a fucking nerd. It's always been there.
I can tell. Speaking our language here.
Marcus, so you had to protect your nerdy friends, didn't you?
Heck yeah. Hell yeah.
So there was some big news coming out of San Diego. Did you follow some of the events there? Did you follow that? Were you following that on Instagram?
I'm excited about the Wakanda Forever trailer.
Honestly. Yeah, that dropped. Yeah.
The mashup of Bob Marley and Kendrick Lamar, that was just that was so awesome. Good. Like just hitting you right, just punching your feels, just repeating.
Yeah.
It was really good. I hope they nail that. I was definitely most excited for that. But second to that is I'm excited for Kang. I cannot wait for Kang. I think Kang is going to be so lit. I think it's going to be amazing, and I can't wait for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kang looks
Quantumania.
good.
It all starts with Ant-Man.
Did you watch it, Thor?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I am Thor and Ant-Man are my favorite MCU movies. They're not the best MCU movies, but they're my favorite MCU movies because I really enjoy the humor. I really enjoy it, but I just didn't think this one was funny. And that was the thing. Is and Chris Hemsworth said before the movie came out, it was like a 7 or an 11-year-old made this movie, and I thought that was spot on. I think that I would have enjoyed that movie a lot more if I was 11.
What's her name didn't do comedy well?
Taki or whatever. I can't say his name, but I think he does do comedy well because
I'm talking about the actress.
You mean?
I don't think she does the comedy well.
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman is funny. She can be funny.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I don't think that she was the problem. I think the writing was the problem. She there were some lines like her whole spiel about trying to come up with a slogan or whatever. I hated it. It just wasn't funny. And there was lots of moments like that where it was supposed to be funny and it just was not funny to me. And I wanted it. I wanted it to be funny. Believe me, I wanted
I
it.
still enjoyed it though. I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, overall, there was a number of spots where it was off to me, and there was a number of spots where like there's always been this element of making Thor an idiot for comedic factor, like Norin said there. That's always been an element of making him an idiot to be funny, and I've been okay with it up until this one. Like in this one, I felt like he was too dumb, and it didn't make sense to me. There's scenes like when he goes to see Zeus, and the way that he's acting, it just did not click. It didn't make sense to me. So Thor movies are among my favorite, but this one didn't hit for me. This is probably my second least favorite.
Anyone
MCU movie.
speculating on Hercules?
Yeah.
Not me, no. I'm not speculating on any of that Zeus Herc stuff.
No
None of the
allusions
Greek god stuff.
no allusions to Angela or anything.
I didn't see anything. No.
Okay.
No. Oh, you guys haven't seen it? Oh, I don't want to.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen a lot of movies though. I'm not like I'll watch them when they, come on DVD and at some
I'm
point,
wondering if
but-
they're doing this on purpose though, making it immature.
That's the thing is like I think that Thor wasn't necessarily the audience for it. I think it was definitely, and I said it even at the time. I was like, if I had a kid here with me or something, I might have enjoyed it a lot more.
Yeah.
But instead, I had Beckerman sitting next to me, and every single time they tried to be funny, Beckerman would be like, he would give this heavy sigh every single time. So that might have added to me not enjoying the movie. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Korg, although I did not like the Korg bit actually, I like Korg in the previous movies, but I didn't like him in this movie. I didn't like Hercules. I didn't like the way Thor acted around Hercules, especially given what was going on at the time in the story.
Zeus.
Or yeah, Zeus, yeah. Given that what was going on in the story, I really didn't like the way that he was acting. So yeah, it was off. But I think if it was for a younger audience, I think. And it was fun. It was fun. Yeah. I'm talking about the things that I didn't like, but I would give this a 3 out of 5 stars. I didn't absolutely hate it. It just wasn't as funny as it tried to be.
Yeah. You take your expectations and sometimes they're not met.
And expectations was a problem too. I think my expectations they were higher than they should have been.
Ragnarok probably put a lot of expectation on you. Because that was funny. That one was pretty funny. The previous Thor movie.
I loved Ragnarok.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved the one before that too, Dark World. Yeah, the first Thor was okay, but then I loved the rest of the Thors, and then I loved every Ant-Man. They're my favorites. I love the funny man. It's my stuff.
So
Paul Rudd is funny.
Let's close this up. It's a little over an hour.
Yeah.
Hey,
gotta get to bed.
I am way past my bedtime. I'm going straight to bed as soon as we click off.
All right.
But I had fun, guys. This was fun. This was actually more fun. I expected to have fun, but I had more fun than I expected.
So what do you have planned for? Anything you want to announce besides?
Yeah, plug something. What do you have coming up?
So we got the Comic Book Community Awards, as we discussed. We are formulating the nominations. Once voting is back up and ready to go, I will be pushing that like a madman, trying to come up with funny ways. And when I do, if you see me, if you could share it, or if you want to just take my video and share it yourself, let me know. I mean, any way in which I can get that process in front of people, I'm in for. So if I can help you share it as well, let me know. Other than that, on my channel every Saturday, although I may miss this Saturday, I do try and drop a preview of the coming comic book day, my top 10 ones. I show you every cover, every artist, every writer, and we go through it. So you'll never go to a con and walk right by your favorite artist because you've seen their picture on my channel. So definitely check that out. Like I said, I stopped doing that video for a while, but the value that I was getting from it was too much for me to stop. And I hope that maybe you guys can get that same value from it. And then Circumstances on Instagram, I'm always trying to be funny. I was trying to do 2 reels a day, but then, I was racking my brain and it was making it less fun. And then I went down to 1 reel a day and I was still racking my brain, making it less fun. So now I'm at the point where I'm just doing it when it comes to me. But when it comes to me, I will be slamming out those reels. So definitely check me out on there if you're not already following me. And if you are a comic book profile showing comic books, I will follow you back. So I'm definitely trying to grow my timeline. I want all comic books. Although I hate how Instagram really it's like it does not want to show you people you follow anymore. Is anybody else seeing that thing?
Mhm.
Like I've got to scroll past 3 things to see somebody that I actually follow
Yeah.
on there. I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on.
It's the advertising aspect.
It's the Sixers or anybody see the movie or read the book Ready Player One real quick?
I did.
I watched the movie.
Yeah.
The movie.
Yeah.
This if you watch
I
that,
read
you
the
have
book
this.
too. I read the book too. Yeah.
The book is way better than the movie.
Of
The
course.
book is so much better than the movie that I didn't even like the movie the first time I saw it because I was like, and I realized that's how comic book people are. It's like if you watch these Disney Plus shows or these comic book, a lot of times the comic book
This is the
community.
first time ever happening.
Hey, you got
Oh,
you've made
no.
it. You've officially
Oh,
made it
no.
when you've got a spammer.
I
But
don't
a
have,
lot of
I
times
don't have anybody
the
with the wrench out there. To
you
delete
gotta
that.
filter that Naman Young. You gotta
Yeah.
I would take care of it for you, but a lot of times comic book community, people who actually read the comic books are far more critical of the movies than people who are just there to have a good time, and that is borne out for me in that book. Ready Player One. I read Ready Player One. I was super excited to see the movie because I just loved the book so much, and they changed so much from the book in the movie that I didn't even like. The movie's a great movie, but I didn't even like it because my expectations were such. And you see that a lot in this comic book community where we've read the comic, we go into the movie thinking that we're going to see our expectations, and we come out incredibly disappointed when we don't. And the thing that we got to realize is that the Disney Plus is not making these movies for us. They're not.
Yeah.
We think that it's for us, but it's not for us. And the way that you know that is if look at YouTube. If you look at YouTube, you see that we ain't shit. We're such a small niche that we do not move the needle like we think.
Yeah, they don't care about it.
Right. So
it's really about
we got to let it
everyday,
go.
Everyday mass market person.
And which is why I can't watch network television. I usually can't watch cable television because that's what that is. It's appealing to the lowest common denominator. And I think you're kind of seeing that more and more with the MCUs. They're kind of, I feel like Thor was kind of that, appealing to the lowest common denominator. And that's when maybe I'll plug out. I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
I need cuss words.
What about you, Otaku Hyang? You got anything coming up?
I just posted a video. Again, it's probably the best comic. It's definitely the best comic book haul of the year, but it's also probably going to be the last because I spent every allotted dime I had for the year.
Blew your load in July. Whoa.
Yeah. But other than that, gonna just try to chill on making videos for a while. So we'll see what happens with that. All right. Well, yeah, Marcus, this was a fabulous time. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us today. And everybody in the chat, go and follow Marcus on Instagram.
I do have one announcement. I'm going to be at the cover battle tomorrow. The what is that?
Cover Slingers.
Cover Slingers. Yeah, come
Which
out
one
there.
Is that Gray Man?
Me, vote for my cover. Vote for my cover.
Is that the Gray Man?
Gray Man's channel on 2 p.m. Saturday. So come out there and vote for me, guys.
I'll probably be at the con, but maybe I'll jump in and give you a few votes there.
Yeah.
And shout out to the chat, Southpaw Brad. That's my homie. Trev. Go Chiefs, Norman, Rad, Six Face, Cat Fan. Shout out to all of them.
Woman or guy?
Hey, love chat XYZ. Message me later.
All right. Always a great time.
See you guys.
See you guys.